Hi, I'm Judy Frerichs. I'm the Vice President of Extended Care Services at City Regional Medical Center's Extended Care and Assisted Living. I've been with the organization for 32 years, and in looking back over this past year, it takes a lot of effort to focus on what we've all been through as an individual, as a leader, as a team member, as a friend, coworker, wife, mother. This past year has pulled everybody's heartstrings. It's pulled everybody's fiber of commitment and frustration and learning how to be who we are and what we do in our occupation and still maintain ourselves. With 50 residents in our care, we have really struggled with balancing taking away our residents' identities in the sense of great-grandmother, great-grandfather, mother, father, grandfather, with their families being taken away from them and us becoming their source of their livelihood in absolutely every aspect. The government dictated to us many rules that were so hard to follow. And in facing that adversity with families who objected, to communities, to our own beliefs that came across, not agreeing with it, but focusing on the depth of what we had to do for our individuals to keep them loved, fed, dressed, warm, absolutely in every way healthy, pulled us in every direction anyone would ever imagine. It made me realize the compassion that people have in our line of profession. We chose to care for these individuals. At the same time, we had to care for ourselves to be able to care for them. You never really think about that until you're put in this kind of situation. One day you're thinking, okay, we're on the upside of it, and something happens and it pulls us back. One day you have family members and residents that are handling it quite well, and the next moment they're not. It took us a lot to find the focus to keep going and going strong with the residents were always our primary focus. But at the same time, we do have lives outside the facility, and sometimes those lives pull us away from the life here, not by choice, but because following the guidelines that were focused on us, it made us have conflict that we never would have imagined before. The teamwork that it took for us to pull together for a year plus is greater than you would ever imagine, and I hope never again in my lifetime, to be honest. It got ugly. It got rewarding. It showed the appreciation for one another. It truly brought us together as a team. Even though some days that teamwork was challenged, at the end of our shift, we were so proud of ourselves that we met our goal. We lived to see another day. It takes great pride to say we kept our residents healthy and strong. Don't let me fool you to think that they didn't suffer in the sense of a loss of their loved one being next to them, touching them, talking to them face to face. But we did work really hard to be there when we could in that role of their loved one that was gone. And every ounce that the government gave us, we took and we ran with it. And we tried our best to take full advantage to the utmost level of what we could do within that new parameter. And today, I would say every one of us is stronger because of it. I would say we never want to go back to those roles. But in my 32 years of being here, I would never imagine ever living through what we just lived through. And I've learned that I obviously can't say that would never happen again, but I hope we would face it with a new in a faster motion than maybe it took us this last time. But whatever it did with us, it took us as a team from one level to the next highest level that you never could imagine. And with that, healthcare is everything to people who live in healthcare and breathe healthcare and decides to make that their life choice. And whatever you can contribute in that line of work or in that fashion, from absolutely every position imaginable it takes to run a healthcare organization, we all matter, we're all important, and whether we start the day or whether we end the day, we are equally a part of it, and we look forward to the next day when we come back and we greet our residents, and we live to see another day and see what we can do with it. And so looking back, I hope to focus on this next year to come and the following years to come to grow from what we did learn in this past about teamwork, what it takes to rely on one another and all the other departments to get to where we wanted to be and what we needed to be, and to help bridge that gap between community and the families, and trying to understand that what we had to do isn't necessarily what we would have wanted to do, but we had to adapt to new rules, and we wanted to meet families and community needs, but the residents overall will always and must always come first. And taking that going into the future, hopefully will help us develop better ways of handling it and better ways to be prepared to still let life come through some of the darkest days and know that tomorrow will come. And as a team, we remain strong and rely on one another. And that is what I truly will be grateful for this past experience as a leader, as a coworker, and as an individual that hopes to always add to my personal life the strength and the faith that it took us to get to this point and go to the next step.